Hello, my name is Pablo Pasos. I'm the director of CaboLabs, Health Informatics. I will present the next workshop that we will do. That is the Mirth Connect Interoperability Workshop. You can check the information about the workshop from our site. You go to the training section, and you have here our courses and workshops online, and you can see the Mirth Connect Interoperability Workshop there. You can download the full program and you can enroll directly from here. I just want to mention that this week we are closing the enrollment for the Clinical Database Design and Implementation course that we will start next week. So if you like to do this course, please hurry, because we are closing enrollment for this course this week. So a little bit about CaboLabs. So what we do is we help companies and organizations to build, improve, and integrate systems and applications for health. Yeah, we basically dedicate to healthcare information systems. And inside that context, we give consultancy and training services. So this course, this workshop can be done also for a company. If you want it, we can create a specific course with specific content for your organization. We also created the Cloud EHR Server. If you are working with clinical information systems and you are developing your own clinical data repositories, take a look at this. It's a standard-based, also based on open technologies, clinical data repository that is generic and is designed for the cloud. So take a look at it. And I will open a small presentation I have here about the workshop. Let me put this in full screen. So if you don't know Mirth Connect and you're working in the healthcare domain, developing or working with clinical information systems, you should know about it. So in short, what Mirth Connect is a middleware. It's an enterprise service bus that is also called an integration engine. What it does, it allows you to create communication channels between your systems to exchange data. That is the shortest definition. And in that context, it supports multiple communication protocols, message formats. It can manage the transformations between those communication protocols and formats, and can manage all the communications. That is the communication channels. You have full logs of all your communications. You have error processing capabilities, so you can see what is happening on each communication channel. So it's easy to create and to manage the communications. It is open source, and it has been around for a long time. So it's very robust technology and is widely adopted. So it is a good option if you are looking to improve your architecture in terms of information exchange between your systems, in terms of integrating your systems and your databases. It's a good option for that implementation, instead of the normal way of doing things, that is point-to-point communications and manage all the communications in your applications. That is the value Mirth Connect can add to your architecture. You don't need to create specific logic on your systems. You just need to use services published in the integration engine and consume those services. So you need to publish and consume those services, and your systems don't know to which other system they are talking to. They are talking to an interface, really. So it's better from the point of view of the software architecture. About the history of this workshop, we have been doing this workshop for a long time in Spanish. This is the first time we will do this workshop in English, but it's the same, it has the same contents, the same structure. We did some editions inside and most of the editions online since 2014. It is worth to note that we have been using Mirth Connect since 2007. So it is almost 10 years that we were around Mirth Connect and participating in the Mirth Connect community, open source community. So we have experience, we know about Mirth and how it can be used. The modality of this workshop is online, full online, and we have an online tool, the Adobe Connect, that allows us to do presentations online and talk with you in real time. And the sessions are live with me, so you are not watching a pre-recorded video. You are watching my presentation live, and you are asking questions live to me. But after the sessions, the session is recorded, so you can watch it again. We have all the presentations, the code samples, some source code, all the links to the tools that we will use will be available to you through ACHISA's virtual campus. ACHISA is the Chilean Association of Medical Informatics. They are supporting us, CaboLabs, on doing our courses and our workshops. So they provide us with the virtual campus that we use to share all the contents of the course, to put all the links to the sessions that are recorded. And also we have a forum there where you can ask questions after the sessions. So when you test our example cases, you ask questions there and I answer. We will give you, after the workshop, a participation certificate. This workshop doesn't have evaluation. It's just it depends on you if you execute the example cases and if you ask questions. Because it's 100% practical. We don't have a way to evaluate this workshop, and our workshops tend to be also very practical and don't have evaluation. So it just depends on you that you execute all the practical samples. And that certification will be given to you after the workshop. And if you are a student, you get discounts. So we want everyone to do these workshops, and the fee of the course or the workshop to not be a blocker for students. So we give big discounts for undergraduate students, not postgraduate. We consider postgraduate students as professionals. So for professionals is the same fee. And if you are studying, if you are young and don't have much money but want to do this workshop, you have the opportunity to do it. So the goals of the workshop is to know Mirth, to know how it works, to gain practical experience. What we will do is to give you a small introduction, conceptual introduction on each session, and then the rest of the session will be just showing and talking about practical examples that will allow you gradually to go from the very basic stuff to more complex interoperability scenarios. And the idea is, I show you that, I describe that to you, you ask questions, and then you test those samples yourself, and and that way you can understand how Mirth works, how it is composed internally, the internal channel architecture, and how to use it. So then when you use it, you get ideas also of how to implement with Mirth Connect, maybe something for your system, your current project. That's the main idea, and you get a lot of practical experience during the workshop. The topics, just high-level topics: the architecture, the channels, the connectors, the filters, transformers. Also, we will have a small introduction to communication protocols and message formats. We will have a small introduction to HL7 version 2. We have a small introduction about also HL7 CDA for clinical documents to allow you to understand some of the examples that use those standards. We also will talk about DICOM. We also will talk about OpenEHR. So a lot of standards that at some point need to interchange information using messages. And we will show how to do that through Mirth Connect. Also, we will show you how to extend the functionality of Mirth Connect through Java code, and of course, all the practical examples that we'll give you. This workshop is for IT people, students or professionals. You need to know a little about programming. You need to because we will show a lot of source code, XML, JSON, etc. So message formats, we will work with those a lot. So it's needed that you understand that. Maybe if you are a clinician with programming skills, you can also do the workshop. But it's mainly focused on IT people or on clinicians that have some kind of IT training or IT experience. So for you, you can do it also. It's not so hard. That is what I'm saying. Then we have 3 live sessions with me, 1 per week. So the workshop is 3 weeks long, and we'll start on June 19th. And the week before, we will close enrollment. So keep in mind that we start on that date, and the week before, I think it's June 14th, we will close the enrollment. And as I said, it is 100% practical. We have examples. We have a forum where you can ask questions after the sessions, and the sessions are live with me. And for the examples that we will analyze through the workshop, the basic idea is that those examples allow us to analyze and to understand all the Mirth features that are used in a lot of cases. So maybe some examples are too simple, but the main goal of each example is to show you one specific feature of Mirth. And in combination, the different examples will give you a full idea of what you can do with Mirth. And after that, and after you understand that, you can start combining those simple examples and creating your own specific scenarios for your context, your project, your system. So that is the main goal of this. And the idea, of course, is if we give you all the source code so you can modify it. We have a lot of students that said, hey, I took this example and I changed it to integrate messages from other sources, and I also read from data from a database because the message from the source doesn't have all the information, so I need to check a database to have more information. I integrated that information into the message, and I send that message to 3 different systems that does A, B, C, D, F. I don't know. You get the idea. But our students do that, actually. And after doing that, combining and changing our examples, they ask questions. So that is the way they learn and they gain practical experience with Mirth. So about the specific examples, what we will see is how to work, of course, with connectors, filters, transformers. That is pretty basic. How to work with scripts, the global scripts and the channel scripts. Also, how to read the logs and how understanding the different states a message goes through. How to import channels, how to export channels, how to organize the channels in your screen. That is easy when you have 3 or 4 channels, but when you have 100, the organization gets very difficult. So we will show you how to do that. How to work with code templates and libraries. That is a good way to reuse code that you use a lot on filters or transformers. How to define global variables and good practices of doing that. Global variables in the context of Mirth are useful to define like the database sources or database connection strings. Also for directories, folders that you use as inboxes or outboxes. Also the path to the specific folder, that can be a global variable. So we show some examples about that. Also, how to work with the inbox-outbox pattern. I just said that with files and with databases. We will show you a couple of examples on there. How to process HSN V2 messages. We have a lot of examples about receiving and processing HSMV2 messages and transforming that to different formats like HL7 to JSON, extracting information from HL7 and mapping that to a database and storing different information in a database, etc. So we have 3 or 4 examples about HL7 specifically. How to work with E4X. E4X is the internal implementation of JavaScript that Mirth has. That implementation is basically JavaScript plus support for XML in JavaScript. It's an extension really to JavaScript. That is needed because internally all the logic that you can define in Mirth to create filters, to create transformations between messages, is written in JavaScript. So that is why understanding E4X is important, because all the logic that you will write in Mirth will be E4X. So we will show you a guide for E4X, and then we will test that on Mirth. Also, to work with filters for connectors and to do different things on filters. We'll show you how to check for errors, how to select a specific destination for your message, different kinds of uses for filters. Also, how to work with maps and what the scopes for the maps are. So the maps are useful to share data between different stages of your communication, or to share data between different communication channels. So that is what the maps are for and are important. So we have information about that and some examples using maps, using database to read and write data. So that is a pretty basic example. We use that in a couple of examples to implement a complete use case. Also, how to, in a channel, you can have different destinations, and those destinations can be executed in parallel or in serial. So there is one specific example that shows you how to work in both ways and what are the uses of both cases, the parallel and serial. And what are the advantages? The advantages, of course, of using parallel, that is quicker, really. But not you can't always use parallel execution. So we have one example about that. Also, we show you how to work with error processing. There is a pattern for error processing that you can use on all your projects. So we will show you how to create one, and you can use the same or just improve it to use on your implementations. Also, we have an example that allows to send email notifications that is related to the error processing channel pattern. So you can have Mirth telling you in real time that there are some processing errors for some messages in some channels, and you get that information on your email, so you can react to that error. Or if you don't have that, you need to be checking the Mirth logs to see if there are any errors. So this way you know for sure which errors happened, and errors will happen. So this is important to have in a real implementation. How to chain channels when you have a complex communication architecture. You might need to break that communication architecture into smaller building blocks. So creating different channels for each part of your communication processing, and then chaining them together to give you the full implementation is a good practice. I would say that is almost a pattern. And we will show you how to do that, how to work with different message formats like EHR7, that is the HL7 version 2 default encoding, how to work with JSON, how to work with XML, generating XML, and processing XML. And we will work with CDA clinical documents on the XML examples. We will also work with Wireshark to analyze the communications that are in the wire. So it is a good tool, and I will show you how to use it to detect communication problems, and you don't need to depend on what is on the Mirth logs. You can see what is going outside Mirth or is coming to Mirth, looking just at the wire. So it is a good way for debugging and to detect issues with the communication. And there is an example to work with SOAP, the SOAP protocol on Mirth, and what you can do and what you can't do or shouldn't do with SOAP in Mirth. So Mirth has a very limited implementation of SOAP interfaces, and you can customize that, but it's not always a good idea to customize the SOAP interfaces because of the way Mirth processes the messages. So I will talk a little about that in the workshop. How to extend Mirth with Java code, that is very important because you can do almost anything in Java and then integrate that code. Like you can have condition testers, validators, you can have transformers for different message formats in Java code that might be difficult to write in Mirth itself, and you can integrate that directly into Mirth. So it's a pretty good thing to understand and use when you want to add more power to Mirth. And how to do that, the best practices for doing that. Working with explicit message routing, that is important when you have several destinations and you need to send a message to one of those destinations based on some information that the message itself contains. So when you receive, maybe you have a laboratory and you receive orders and you emit results. When you emit the result, and you can send that to Mirth, to one interface in Mirth. Based on the information in the results, you can send that result to the EHR of hospital A or to the EHR of hospital B, depending on the information in the result itself. So that is a good example of a use case for message routing. And we will finish the workshop with an analysis of a teleradiology scenario. And we will do a small test with sending DICOM objects to Mirth and analyzing the content of the DICOM objects. But we will talk about a full scenario when you extract images from a modality, you store that in a local PACS, you send that to a remote clinic that does the diagnosis. So they create the radiology reports, and then they send the reports back to you. And you store that in your PACS, and you can see the reports in your EHR, etc. So we will review that, the whole flow, and how you can use Mirth to implement it very easily. Remember, enrollment is open. You can go to this website, just CaboLabs.com. You can access there the training section, and you can see the workshop. There you have the full program of the workshop there. So download that, review it, and you have the green button to enroll, and that will give you the enrollment form. You fill that, and then you will receive information about the next steps to finish the enrollment. So basically, just if you're interested on this, fill the enrollment form, and remember that the enrollment will be open until June 14th. So, and we will start the workshop the week after. It will be June 19th. So remember this, remember the dates. If you have any questions, just let me know. You have here all my information. You can contact me directly at pablo.pasos@cabolabs.com, or you can go to the CaboLabs site and just go to the contact form and send me an email. Also, you have here my Twitter handler, my GitHub user, and my LinkedIn profile. So you have all my information. If you have any questions, any comments about this, let me know. You have all the information here. And that's it. Thanks for watching.